If you're curious to see how I functionally plan my week as a stay-at-home mom of 4, watch me plan the week of June 13th through 19th in my Plum Paper Vertical Priorities Planner. Hey y'all, so today's video is a functional plan with me, but with a little twist. I will be checking in twice during the week so you can see how my week goes. For this first part where I'm setting up my week, I've sped things up and decided to voice over because if I left it in real time, this video would be like over an hour long, and that includes with the check-in. So I hope you're into watching this style of plan with me. If so, make sure you let me know in the comments so that I know to continue doing this in the future. I actually first saw Taylor, I think that's her name, from Tattooed Teacher Plans, do a functional plan as I go, and I just thought it was so cool to see how she uses her planner all week. I actually still like watching her videos, but this is going to be a little different than hers. I knew that if I ever decided to do plan with me's, that's how I felt I would want to do it, because I don't think there are enough planners sharing like their real plans, and many people have questions and are just curious to see how other people not just set up their week with stickers, but like actually use their planner. Ideally, I would have loved to have been able to check in multiple times during the week, but with the kids off school for summer, I was lucky to get the 2 quick check-ins filmed for today's video. With the Plum paper, you can customize the headings for the top 2 boxes in this particular planner, which is the vertical priorities. I decided to leave everything blank. That way I could change things up as I needed to, and I wasn't tied down to what the headings were that I made when I first bought it. So that's why I have to write in the headings for before I can like even start planning the week. And I decided it looks really clean to box things off. For this week, I don't have very much going on as far as appointments, but I still like to keep the top section for time-sensitive events. Then I have a today section where I like to mark birthdays, holidays, and anything else specific to that day. Our family is currently into the new series, Miss Marvel, so that's where I mark like the next episode each Wednesday to remind us, to watch another one. When I tried to keep like all those things, like the appointments and like what's happening today, like in just a top section, my planner looked like crowded, like, or at least that like top box felt crowded, and so it was kind of overwhelming to look at. So that's why I ended up splitting them up into the schedule and today, and that's really like helped a lot, so I could kind of really quickly pull out what's time sensitive versus what's just like today. Next, I list like any to-dos for that day. This isn't like an exhaustive list of every single thing, but like just the main things, so I don't forget. I don't like plan every single thing out like way in advance. Also, sometimes like a to-do doesn't like have to happen on a set day, and so I do have a separate weekly to-do list on another page. If you saw my setup video for this planner, then you saw that page, you know what I'm talking about, and if not, I'll go ahead and link it in the description. For my chores, I pull off like what those are from a monthly cleaning calendar that I have set up. I actually also have a video that's showing how I create that, and I'll go ahead and leave that in the description too. And in that very bottom section, I decided to use it for like to-do tasks related to any content that I'm working on. Could be blog posts, YouTube video, IG posts, a reel, email. I do have an entirely separate weekly planner for content planning, but I use it more like to log what I did each day. It helps me to remember and see that I'm making progress even when I feel like I'm not. So, I mean, if you're any type of like content creator, then you know how it feels when you think you haven't been working on your content creating. So like ever since I started writing out the things I do each day, I've just felt much better, and I don't beat myself up as much because I can see that like I am making progress. Sometimes at the end of the week, I'm like, I don't think I did anything. And then because I've been writing it down, I can just look and see, oh, look at all the things I did this week. So anyway, if you want to know more about that, let me know. And maybe one day I'll do a video about it. I do practice yoga every day, but I don't always follow a yoga calendar. It just so happens that right now I'm following one, and so that's why I wrote down the times. Hey, today is Thursday, and so I am popping in with a check-in to let you see what my week is looking like, and to just kind of go ahead and start planning my day. It's still morning, and so I have my daily planner here with me that I'm gonna fill out off camera, but I have it here with me so that I could let you know that that's what I've been doing this week. I've been coming into this weekly, and then from here jotting down what needs to get done, and working off of my daily. So I do need to check off some things from yesterday while I'm in here. And let's see, I did journal yesterday. Nope, I didn't do a reset. I did my yoga, and oh, there's like a spider. Go. Let's see. I did the journal at the end of the day. Wind down. I would say yes. So what the PM wind down is for me is like after 7:30 my phone goes into like do not disturb. So I don't get any dings with notifications for like text messages. If someone tries to call me after that time, it's not going to come through unless they're in my favorites. And so the PM wind down for me is like me making sure that I'm not going into my phone and checking like social media, because that's also the time of the day that I those apps aren't locked yet. They don't lock in my phone until about 9:30. But from 7:30 on, I try not to go in to like email or anything, because I'm trying to just kind of wind myself down for the day. My PM journal is for this week, it's in my A5. Let me go grab it real quick. Okay, so this is a planner that I had picked up at the beginning of the year to use for my health and wellness, but my health symptoms like kind of went away, and I didn't really need to be recording things as often. So
I had put this away for a little bit and picked it back up this week so that I could try journaling in it. These 3 prompts are pretty much the 3 prompts that they give you at the end of the JMB Living Journal. So these are not like unique to me. I did reword this one though. In the journal, it's today's win. And so I rephrased it to today's proud moment because the best win prompt was automatically making me go straight to thinking about like accomplishments related to work or creating content and that sort of thing. And a lot of the times that would instantly make me feel like disappointed in myself. So I rephrased it because a lot of the times I would have to really push through that and think deeper, and often it would be something that a moment in the day that made me feel proud. So for example, yesterday, actually doing an AM yoga routine during the day. Usually I do my yoga at the end of the day. I hardly ever do yoga in the morning. I actually this morning did my yoga this morning because you can see today's schedule. There is a game tonight, so we probably will get home late, and it's just better for me to do a yoga that is like this one was a power, which it wasn't that bad. It was really just like some push-ups, sort of. I don't know. I've done worse power yogas. Anyway, so I went ahead and got it out of the way this morning. Let's see. So yoga I always do every single day. It's a given. So I don't really necessarily need it up here, but I figured I'd write down my like self-care habits. This afternoon reset is something that I started doing when I was picking up the kids in Carline after school. And I called it my afternoon reset because what I did once I started doing that, I decided that, okay, this new thing of picking them up in the afternoon, I'm going to make it like a no phone zone, basically. So I wasn't going to squander that time on my phone scrolling and consuming, that I was instead going to intentionally have like an afternoon reset. And the things that I consider, the types of activities that I do that I would consider helpful in like resetting and recharging are just doing nothing. So sometimes I would just sit there and do nothing, taking a nap, or reading. And when I say reading, I don't mean reading like a nonfiction, like how-to business type book or personal development. That sort of thing actually is not something I consider a reset, so that doesn't count. It has to be like a novel. So I was like, I'm reading a story. And then the other thing would be journaling. And so that's what journaling up here is. It's different journaling than this that I'm doing in here. This is more of a long form journaling. Like my whole life, since I was like 10 or 11, I've had a little journal, which is basically just a lined notebook. Never, ever, my whole life, have I ever gotten like prompted journals. The only time that's ever happened is since finding the planning community and actually discovering that sort of thing existed. So journaling is basically just me writing out my thoughts and just getting them out on like a lined paper and just taking up, sometimes I fill up like just an entire page. Sometimes, most of the time, I fill up pages, multiple pages of things. So what I was finding happening to me with using my JMB Living Journal, there is a small section. It's probably about, let's see, it's probably about that many lines. That feels about right. And seeing that space, what would happen is sometimes I would fill it in, in like journaling a little bit about my day, but because of the space constraint and me not being used to that, I would have to try and figure out like, well, what can I write about in that short period of space? And usually it was superficial type things, like this is where we went. And well, I'm not saying that type of journaling is not beneficial. It is, but it was I was journaling, but not as deep as I like. So for this week, I wanted to get back to long form journaling again. So I am trying to get back into that. But I still like doing those 3 prompts at the end of the day, reflecting on like what was the moment of joy and what did I find beautiful, because those I like doing that because during the day it's made me slow down during the day too, to find those things and like pause and like just be more mindful. That's the whole point of that journal. So not knocking the journal at all. I think it's great. It's just for right now, that is how I am journaling. So anyway, enough rambling. I need to get on with the day. Thursdays is always laundry day, but a lot of the times it's really more like these 2 days. I do need to pay bills. That's why that sticker there, I just didn't write it. And yeah, with the time of this, that means dinner is not happening. Usually we eat dinner around 6. So since that's when the game will be, I need to figure out what our game plan is going to be for that. Of course, it's going to be eating out, but yeah, if you have kids that are in sports, then you know what I mean by trying to figure that out, especially when like you have some kids playing and other kids not playing. So all right, enough rambling. I will check in again with you on Sunday, hopefully. I know Sunday is Father's Day, but I'm going to try and pop in on Sunday, probably in the morning. We are going to go watch the new Lightyear movie. I am excited for it. Anybody else excited to go watch Lightyear? I'm really excited to finally get like a backstory on who Buzz Lightyear is. All right, I'll see you guys next. Hello everyone. Today is, well, the day that I'm filming this last part for this plan with me. It is currently Monday the 20th. It's around 7:00 p.m. So I am a little bit behind schedule as far as when I wanted to film this final section. But yesterday I didn't even touch the planner at all. We left the house early to head out to go catch our movie. We went to watch Lightyear. It was good, and I think one of my favorite parts in it is a part that I'm not going to spoil, but it has to do with a pen. So I think all you planner people, when you go watch it, you'll understand. But I just loved like how the guy kind of geeked out about a pen. So watch that. And then hit me up in my DMs on Instagram to chat about it, because I could see so many reels. It's just gonna be hilarious. Anyway, I need to just check off a couple things to finish off last week. So let's see. I am doing this now, so I'm gonna check that off. This I wrote for today, and it did not get done today yet, so I'm going to put just an arrow to signal that I moved it. Toilets got cleaned. I just washed the mats today. I did not do the bath sink, but That's something I do every Friday, and it's honestly not like that bad, so I just am not gonna do it. I did do laundry last week. I did pay bills. Yes, that got done. Vacuuming my bedroom. And all right, so for my habits, I did not journal yesterday. Yesterday was just all day we were gone, so there was no afternoon reset yesterday. I did do yoga at the end of the day, and PM wind down, I'm not gonna check that off. I did not go on social at all yesterday, but for my PM wind down, it's not just like staying off social, it's also kind of just staying off my phone in general, unless it's like absolutely important for me to do something. But at the end of the day, I was like browsing Target. Yeah, because when we went out yesterday, we went to a Lazy Boy furniture because my husband had never been to one before. Actually, we've never been at all, and he wanted to check out their recliners. And we have a goal this year to buy a new dining room table. So yesterday, when we got back home, I was like just checking Target to kind of see what all they had. So because of that, I'm not going to check that out because technically that happened like after my 7:30. I think that was like right around 8:15ish. So I don't know. Like I know I did not get on after that, so that's fine. And I did do my PM journal. Which is in that Erin Condren A5 planner that I showed you the last time. So these two boxes up here, I have not yet figured out a use for them. So rather than like just putting something there just for the heck of it, I left it like that just so that you guys can see that like I did not use it. I could write down what my joy was this week, but I honestly won't return to this page now that it's passed. I've already planned out this coming week, and usually what I do is I reference the past week, and especially checking these chores off right here to just make sure that like we didn't forget any of these. Usually if something got forgotten and didn't get done, it's one of these from like Friday, Saturday, or Sunday that I would need to move over and I would write on Monday. Like for example, on this week here, cleaning the bottles and the microwave, those were carryover tasks from the weekend before. So that's usually what ends up happening. So like this one, vacuuming the kids' bathroom, got carried over and it was put on for Monday. And what I do in here, I don't carry it over from day to day. Like if it doesn't get done on this day, I don't rewrite it on this day because it just ends up becoming just huge disaster. So with the chores, I just leave it where they are, and I will just kind of quickly scan and make sure that the things got checked off. But otherwise, that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this plan with me style, where you got to come along with me throughout the week at certain checkpoints. Ideally, I would be able to come in here and sit down every day, but summertime life with 4 kids at home means that's not happening anytime soon. So maybe in the future. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I plan on trying to do at least one of these style videos per month. I might bump it up to 2 per month once the kids return to school, but go ahead and subscribe if you want to make sure you catch the next one. Otherwise,
I will leave notes in the description for products that I used today in this video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.